slows down when bullets fly. When federal agents swarm the suspected hideout of the ruthless and heavily armed Barker-Karpis gang.
Come out now with your hands in the air!
They trigger one of the most sensational and prolonged gunfights in the gangster era.
Come on, coppers!
As the G-Men attempt to take down public enemy number one. And the ever-mysterious Barker.
You ready for anything, boys?
On the morning of January 16th, 1935, at the height of the Depression-era crime wave, federal agents surround a quiet Florida vacation house, thought to be the current whereabouts of one of the longest surviving criminal networks of the time, the notorious Barker-Karpis gang, allegedly led by Ma Barker.
We're Department of Justice agents and have the house surrounded.
What are you gonna do?
Ma Barker and her outlaw brood is just an incredible story. They become the very definition of public enemy number one.
Spanning to more than 20 members, the gang becomes one of the most feared syndicates of kidnappers and bank robbers of the Depression era.
The image of the queen of the mobsters, this idea of a Tommy gun-toting grandmother, really solidified in the public's mind this notion that this was a sort of a monstrous person. We're talking about Bloody Mama, the famous Roger Corman film.
In charge of the operation is Special Agent E.J. Connolly, joined by 13 G-men.
The FBI prepares what can only be called a siege of the Barker place.
They're hoping to catch the entire gang. They're expecting, of course, a shootout. So they've come with a lot of firepower.
Come out now with your hands in the air!
The Barker-Karpis gang is ready for a fight, including Ma's beloved youngest son, Freddie Barker.
Go ahead then.
Complete chaos. Hot lead is flying everywhere. The Barker-Karpis gang define what being a gangster is all about.
Known for their extreme violence, the Barker-Karpis gang forms in 1931 inside the Kansas State Penitentiary when Freddie Barker meets fellow career criminal Alvin Karpis.
His compatriots call him creepy, but he's one smart man.
And in fact, he was reputed to be the most intelligent criminal of the era, which made him especially dangerous.
The gang cuts its teeth through a string of often deadly bank robberies across the Midwest. Not wanting to become one of Al Capone's stooges in Chicago, Karpis suggests that they relocate to Minneapolis-St. Paul and transition into the less risky but equally lucrative kidnapping racket. But when they kidnap the son of one of President Roosevelt's primary funders, Roosevelt orders J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the Bureau of Investigation, to make the Barkers top priority. Public enemy number one.
The feds finally get their hands on Arthur, aka Doc Barker. And among his possessions, they find a map, a hand-drawn map of the family hideout in Lake Weir, with the hideout actually circled on the map, which is proof that Ma Barker's sons didn't achieve their reputation for being smart. They just happened to be extremely violent.
Come on, covers!
The G-men think they've lucked on to this situation. But in fact, particularly Agent Connolly's mind, there's a lot of uncertainty.
You guys see him?
They don't know how many people are actually in the house.
There's a wide variety of weapons up there. And this confuses the agents.
Federal agents have surrounded the property to prevent escape. The bulk of their force is positioned behind 2 cars and several large trees scattered around the front and west side of the house. Unsure of how many gangsters they're up against, Agent Connolly's plan is to launch an all-out offensive against the entire Barker gang head-on and to bring them to justice, dead or alive.
In the midst of the initial firefight, Agent White decides to move forward on the house. He finds himself pinned behind a tree. It's a precarious situation to be in because the sights of the gunman on the second floor of the Barker house now have him.
The Thompson submachine gun was the weapon of choice for most gangsters of the Prohibition era, as its effectiveness was undeniable.
We want to see how many rounds this Tommy gun can throw down range in just a couple of seconds. A Tommy gun is truly impressive. This machine gun fires at a rate of 800 rounds per minute. It has relatively low recoil because it is so heavy, weighing just over 10 pounds.
But do the G-men have any chance of survival against the Tommy gun?
We're gonna test to see if an agent is safe behind a tree when a Tommy gun is fired at.
Despite its high rate of fire, the Tommy gun's low-velocity .45 caliber bullets are no match for the dense wood of the tree trunk.
Even though a Tommy gun makes a lot of noise, Agent White is pretty safe.
With bark and bullets flying in every direction, stinging him as bark flies off, he's unaware that Freddie Barker is actually downstairs, feet away, and death is imminent.
Pinned behind a tree, Agent White has nowhere to run. But Connolly knows the walls of the house offer little protection against his .30-06. He just needs to know exactly where to aim.
So Agent Connolly's a very savvy agent. He's counting shots, he's trying to determine trajectories of bullets. Where are the shots coming from? Where are the shooters located? And he can't quite get a beat on it. But that moment, when Freddie pins down White behind that tree, shows that there is one shooter in a very definite position. And this gives Connolly his first chance to act.
Conley raises his .30-06 Springfield and fires a shot into the front of the house.
wanted for robbery, kidnapping, and murder. Ma Barker and the Barker-Karpis gang are surrounded by federal agents in their Florida hideout.
The agents don't know how many people are actually in the house. The fire is so intense, it seems like it has to be a good chunk of the family in the gang.
Inside, the youngest Barker brother and co-founder of the gang, Freddie Barker, is doing double duty, keeping the agents under constant fire.
Freddie's like a madman. He's running through the house. He's going from window to window. He's blazing away. There's a wide variety of weapons up there. And this confuses the agents.
Caught in the crosshairs of Freddie's rage, Agent White is pinned behind a tree.
But that moment, when Freddie pins down White behind that tree, shows that there is one shooter in a very definite position. And this gives Connolly his first chance to act. It's an amazingly lucky shot because it hits Freddie Barker in the shoulder and takes him down.
Connolly's lucky shot passes through Freddie's chest, but misses the heart and lungs. With Freddie down, Agent White makes a run for it back to cover. It's a non-fatal shot, and Freddie is soon back on his feet, returning fire with vengeance.
Agent Connolly's following the burst. He's counting them. He's trying to figure out exactly how many people there are, where the shots are coming from. Becomes very apparent to him very quickly that there's not a whole gang in there. There's just a couple of people.
And one of them is 62-year-old Ma, aka Kate Barker.
It's believed that Alvin Karpis, the brain that he was, simply kept her out of the loop.
Ma was somebody important to us. We made it a point of looking after her and taking her with us when we moved from city to city. And when we traveled together, we moved as a mother and her sons. Who could look more innocent?
She went with them everywhere. They all liked her. In fact, when they would do their jobs, they would send her to the movies. And Ma evidently saw a lot of movies.
Upstairs, Ma Barker is taking cover from a barrage of federal agent bullets.
Freddie! Freddie!
Outside, Connolly has a new tactic.
This has gone on way too long. Connolly wants to end the siege.
Get the tear gas!
To provide cover for his agents running close to the house to dispense the tear gas, Connolly and his men are focusing a hailstorm of fire on the upstairs bedroom.
Listen closely. I want you to concentrate fire on the southwest corner of the second story. Now!
Despite repeated efforts to penetrate the house, the tear gas tactic proves ineffective. Making matters worse, Connolly and his men are now running dangerously low on ammo.
There's also a concern on Agent Connolly's part that if Alvin Karpis and his boys aren't in the house, they're coming back sometime soon. And the FBI could likely be wiped out in an ambush.
Conley, how we doing?
We're running low on ammo.
Additional ammunition is in a second car, but to retrieve it, someone must run across exposed ground, directly in the line of fire.
I need you to make a run to that car.
What?
Don't worry, I got you covered.
Who gets the job but a rookie agent named Muzzy?
Okay, on me.
And then something strange happens.
It's 3 hours into one of the greatest shootouts of the gangster era, and over 1,000 rounds have already been fired.
Conley and his agents have laid down so much suppressing fire that their ammunition is almost completely depleted.
How we doing, Conley?
We're running low on ammo. I need you to make a run to that car. Don't worry, I got you covered. Okay, on me.
Here goes nothing.
Put yourself in poor, hapless Agent Muzzy's shoes for just a second. He's now been instructed to go from a covered position into exposed ground to retrieve ammunition without which the FBI cannot continue the fight. So he takes to his heels. He starts running for that car, expecting every second gunfire to erupt from the upper and lower stories. And then something strange happens. Nobody fires at Agent Muzzy.
The silence is eerie. Conley and his agents don't know if the people inside are dead or if they're just laying in wait, saving their ammunition.
Then, one of the agents happens to see someone snooping around.
Sir, Agent, who is this?
I'm Willie Woodbury. Is anybody gonna tell me what's going on?
He's the caretaker. He knows everything about this place.
All right, Mr. Woodbury, listen closely. We are lawmen, Department of Justice agents. Now, you know the Barkers. We need you to go in that house and report back to me. Tell me what you see, all right?
Conley needs someone to go into that house. Woodbury has kind of walked up and almost volunteered in a way, and the caretaker agrees to do it.
We need someone to go in that house and tell us what's going on. I'm hoping we're not handing over a hostage on a silver platter.
It's okay, Ma. It's me.
Conley watches the caretaker vanish into the house. Again, all is quiet. What's he done?
From almost the moment that Woodbury steps in the house, things grow eerily quiet inside. The agents can't see anything behind those windows.
Woodbury! What's going on in there?
His heart sort of comes up into his throat, and he wonders, did I just send this man in to his own execution?
Still, there's nothing coming from the house except silence. But then, finally, from that southwest corner bedroom, a voice calls out.
They're both up here!
They're both dead.
Woodbury finds two bodies. He finds Freddie Barker dead, a Tommy gun just out of reach, and he finds Ma Barker also dead. Hoover will later claim that his agents found Ma Barker with a Tommy gun in her hand, but that claim will be widely disputed in the immediate aftermath of the siege.
Freddy is shot 7 times, twice to the head, and Ma with a single fatal shot to the skull.
Get the tear gas! Now!
When the agents provided the cover for the men that were running forward to fire the tear gas canisters, the bullets went right through the walls of the house. Hundreds and hundreds of them.
Prior to the shootout in Florida, Ma Barker had no criminal record.
J. Edgar Hoover has a real problem on his hands. His agents have shot down a 62-year-old mother.
Rather than risk his own reputation and that of his fledgling FBI, Hoover fabricates a story about Ma Barker as an evil criminal mastermind. But those who knew her best said otherwise.
Hoover had it out for Ma. Don't know why. It was me and the boys that were running things. Fact is, nobody ever heard of her until after she was slaughtered by the FBI.
Another gangster said that she couldn't even organize breakfast, much less a bank heist. Do we believe the account of the gangster with nothing to gain, or the account of the lawman with everything to lose?
While Hollywood characterizes Ma Barker as a villainous Tommy gun shooting kingpin, the fact remains there's still no proof she was ever involved in the crimes of the gang, and may have just been a mother caught in the crossfire.
Who was the real Ma Barker? Perhaps we'll never know.
They're calling me back home.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.